Hello and welcome. This is a simple English story for beginners. If you want to learn English with stories, you are in the right place. In this video, you will listen to a calm, emotional story using easy English words and clear sentences. Relax, listen carefully, and enjoy learning English through this real-life story. When my son got married, everyone told me my life would feel fuller. They said my home would be louder, warmer, and happier. I believed them. I smiled at his wedding and told myself this was the beginning of a beautiful new chapter. But what no one told me was this. Sometimes, happiness does not arrive loudly. Sometimes, it leaves quietly. I remember the first night I realized something had changed. The house was clean. Dinner was ready, and the door stayed closed. I sat on the sofa with the lights on, waiting for footsteps that never came. I told myself not to worry. He is busy, I whispered. He is married now. But deep inside, my heart already knew. This was not just a busy night. This was the start of being left behind. I raised my son with my own hands and my own heart. His father passed away when my boy was still young. From that day on, it was just the two of us. Our home was small, but it was full of love. I worked long hours, but I always came home smiling. I never wanted him to feel the weight I carried. He used to say, "Mama, I will never leave you." I laughed and told him not to make promises like that, but secretly, those words kept me warm for years. We ate dinner together every night. We talked about school, work, and dreams. Our table was not fancy, but it held our world. When he told me he was getting married, my heart felt proud and afraid at the same time. I hugged him and said yes with a smile. I told myself this was the natural way of life. His wife was polite, quiet, respectful in her own way. I tried my best to welcome her. I cooked her favorite food. I gave her space. I did not interfere. I told myself, be careful. Do not become a problem. I wanted peace more than anything. After the wedding, my son moved into a small place with his wife. It was not far, just 15 minutes away. At least he's close, I told myself. He will come often. The first week, he came every day. The second week, every few days. By the third week, only on weekends. Then only on special days. I noticed the changes quietly. The phone calls became shorter. The visits became rushed. When he came, he checked the time. He smiled, but his eyes were somewhere else. I started cooking smaller meals. There was no need for big pots anymore. One evening, I called him. He did not answer. I called again the next day. When he finally called back, his voice sounded tired. "Mama, I am busy. I will call you later." Later never came. I told myself not to complain. I did not want to sound lonely. I did not want to be that mother. But loneliness has a way of growing quietly. It sits next to you at night. It eats dinner with you. The real pain did not come all at once. It came in small moments. My birthday passed. He sent a message, no visit. A holiday came. He said they had plans. I smiled and said it was okay. One night, I fell sick. My hands were shaking. My head was heavy. I called my son. He answered, but his voice was distant. "Mama, can you rest? I will come tomorrow." Tomorrow never came. I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling. For the first time, I felt truly alone. Weeks later, I visited him without telling him first. I stood at his door with a small bag of food. His wife opened the door. She looked surprised, not happy, not angry, just surprised. My son came from the other room. He froze when he saw me. "Mama, you should have called," he said softly. I smiled. was nearby, I replied. We sat together, but the air felt heavy. I felt like a guest in my own child's life. When I stood to leave, his wife said quietly, "We need our space." She did not raise her voice. She did not insult me. But her words stayed with me all the way home. That night, I cried without sound, not because she asked for space, but because my son did not stop her. I realized something painful. He was choosing silence instead of truth, distance instead of honesty. Days turned into months. My home grew quieter. I stopped waiting by the door. I stopped checking the time. I began talking to myself while cooking, just to hear a voice. Then one afternoon, my son came alone. He looked older, tired. We sat in the same place we always used to. He did not speak at first. Finally, he said, "Mama, I did not know how to balance both worlds." I listened. I did not interrupt. He said he felt pulled from both sides. He said he chose the easier silence. I told him something I had practiced saying for months. I do not need you every day. I just need to know I still matter. His eyes filled with tears. So did mine. We did not fix everything that day, but we opened a door. Today, my son visits sometimes, not often, but honestly, I no longer wait with expectation. I welcome with gratitude. I learned something important through this pain. Love does not disappear, but it does change. And sometimes the hardest lesson is learning how to let go without bitterness. If you are listening to this and feeling forgotten, please know this. Your worth does not fade because someone walks away. Some doors close, but your heart does not have to.